OK, well, let's get more on the US retail industry from Bryan Roberts, the Global Research Director at Planet Retail. Let's begin with looking ahead to what we're expecting from Wal-Mart today. What are you hoping to see? Well,
hopefully some good news. What we've been hearing from Wal-Mart over the last, say, 4 or 5 quarters has been quite disappointing in terms of their performance in their US stores business, contrasting with a fairly robust performances from their overseas operations. So, Wal-Mart has been suffering to some extent from the economy, and it did very well in 2008 when consumers were extremely concerned and trading down to Wal-Mart from other retailers.
Yes.
As the good times have returned, we've seen some of those trading back up again. That said, some of their problems have been self-inflicted, so, reducing their sort of SKU range by around 15, up to 30% in some categories has driven some consumers away. And also, we've been hearing from suppliers that a lot of their sort of extra rollback activity, their big sort of promotional activity, has been sort of hurting margins and certainly hurting the suppliers. So what we're hoping for really is a return to normal with they're getting back to the sort of strategies that have served them well down the years.
Now, one of their strategies was always to sell brands, wasn't it? To sell branded goods. Is that something that they are going to go ahead with going forward?
Yeah, it's quite a delicate balance for Wal-Mart. They need the brands to be there to get the consumers in through the doors. That said, there are clear benefits for really pushing their private label sales, higher margins for the retailer, and also it's building Wal-Mart as a brand among consumers as well. So they have to balance out getting the right brands in. So what we're seeing, as with all retailers like Carrefour and Tesco, is eliminating the sort of number 3 or 4 brands and sticking with the number 1 and 2 brands, and then filling in the gaps with private label, which do deliver those higher margins for the retailer.
Of course. Now, Wal-Mart has said that it is intending to expand further outside the US to kind of compensate for what's going on within the US. How is their expansion overseas going?
It's pretty patchy at present. They're seeing some great growth in China, contrasted against a very sort of sluggish performance in Japan. Latin America and Central America going great guns for Wal-Mart. They've got a fantastic business in Mexico, also making very strong progress in key markets like Brazil. European operations, obviously, following their withdrawal from Germany, just limited to Asda, which has been disappointing as well. So what we're keenly awaiting today is some better news from Asda as well in the hugely competitive UK market. We're really looking forward, I think, markets like Brazil, China, and in the longer term still, India, from their existing market, should deliver quite strong growth. But what we are perhaps looking for as well, some news on new market entries, and Russia's been on the back burner for a number of years. So, will they finally give us some news about their activities in Russia?
Of course, it and Home Depot, who's also going to be giving us the results today, really they're a bellwether for the US. It says a lot about how the US consumer is feeling. We keep being told that they are not spending. Do we get a good indication from what happens with these companies as to how American consumers are feeling?
We get a very sort of broad indication. I think the caveats to apply for each company, one is that Wal-Mart tends to attract lower income shoppers, so it's a very good indicator of what's going on among less affluent consumers in the United States. Obviously, Home Depot is very much at the mercy of the housing market or lack thereof.
Yes.
So, in general, we'd be looking to say retailers like Target and JCPenney for an indication of what the mid-market consumers are doing, and the signs so far are that they're still spending money, but still very sort of value conscious as well, which is pressurising retailers in terms of both the top and bottom line.
OK, Bryan Roberts, thank you very much indeed for joining us.